Hey, what's up, people? So today, man, I've been hearing a lot about this chat GPT, and like everybody's losing their shit over it. And I'm kind of on the sidelines, just like I guess like you can lose your shit over it. Maybe if you work in an office, yeah, you're kind of fucked. But honestly, if you're doing real world practical shit, like in reality, chat PT is a fucking great tool to use like for your business or just be able to automate shit that you don't want to do. So like one of the things I'm starting to realize is that like a lot of people are they're stressing because they work in office jobs, and if it just comes with the territory, you work in an office job, it's just a matter of time because before you become automated out. And like one of the things I'm really looking at because I'm seeing how this thing is evolving and how it's growing, and like just reading up on it and getting ready to understand. Basically, what I'm discovering is just like an organism that exists online that takes in all the human like data that we have created and basically can write for you. It can create code, write, scripts, whatever the fuck you really need to do online. And yeah, that's pretty dangerous if you're doing secretarial work, accounting stuff, anything that's like you could put in an Excel sheet. Yeah, chances are like if you're emailing people or doing Excel sheets, yeah, you might start looking towards a different avenue of work because chances are you're not going to be in a good position. But it's so crazy. This thing launched in 2022, November last year, and now is advanced in such this freaking level. And what's interesting to me is I don't worry about AI because at the end of the day, like people are talking about, well, everybody's gonna be unemployed. Well, guess what, man? There's a particular industry that never stops hiring. It's called construction. So like you get into the trades, you don't have to worry about AI ever taking your job. And the day that AI does take your job, we'll be living in a utopia at that point. Because if AI can go out there and do electrical work, do plumbing, and do all the things that humans have, like this intricate learning system and pattern recognition and on the fly rolling, then we're all in trouble. None of us are gonna have a job. Because if AI can start building houses and start making shit like in reality, we're in trouble. But as far as the interwebs is concerned, well, yeah. I mean, this is always inevitability as the internet starts to further progress, it's going to start to evolve, just like any organism. Because I look at the internet like it's an organism. Like this is like a living, breathing, constantly evolving and changing thing that humans are feeding information into. And even though it's over a virtual net that we can't see the back end of, it's still an organism. The same way, like you're an organism, you have your front end, but the back end is your brain, all the information, your internal systems. That's all the back end stuff. So, like, Why would the internet not be any different than us? Like it's the internet came for us, so it's going to have like tendencies like us. And so anyway, like it's fascinating to me because as this thing begins to evolve and as we see massive layoffs from tech companies and sales companies and just general companies that start to be able to realize how they can use this tool as the old timers start to die off and new people start to come in and use these tools, what it's going to really create is who is the best tool user. Like the sapien is now going to be the new domain user because like for example, my business, I do home entertainment and home security improvements. So I come into people's houses, I mount televisions, I put curtains up, I set up security systems, I build your entertainment systems, mount things, I do a bunch of different things. The chat GPT will be very helpful for me to be able to automate my process of finding leads, contacting these people, getting in contact, getting their numbers, changing information, and just streamlining that process. So it will be extremely beneficial to me. Now, as far as Jeff from accounting, he should be shaking his fucking boots because I don't know what Jeff from accounting is going to do. Because unless he has some hard hand skills, dude, eventually your job is gone. And so what this is going to create is this new dichotomy of humanity where like people are going to have to start going back to doing human to human transactional activities, which I think is a good thing overall. And I hear a lot of things about like content, like the AI generated art, like what's those AI, yeah, all these different AI arts. So like I look at these things, I'm like, oh, that's real cool. But like at the end of the day, no matter how cool it is, it's just like a random generated image. And it might look good, but I think there's something internally with human beings that we like to like I always want to test these things out. Like if I say cyber gangster, what comes up? So like when I look at these things, I'm saying, okay, that's so cool. Like a AI generated art gets created. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's still not like humans want to see like the human aspect of things. Now maybe these new internet kids might be a little bit different because they're always like into these weird like metaverse things. They're trying to do like what I know about the internet kids is that they are always trying to go into this escapism. So like yeah, they might start falling for the metaverse and all this other stuff. But what I realize is as the AI and everything starts to progress and it starts to generate these new like just content, what's going to happen is it's going to start following trends. And I believe these trends are going to start like happening at a rapid pace. So as the trends are picking up, more AI is going to start to find out about the trend. The trend's going to go. And what I believe it's going to be a burnout of trends where trends are being created every like 10 minutes, even every minute. There's a new trend starting to occur. And what's going to happen is humans are not going to be able to process it as quickly. And when that occurs, what I believe is going to happen is people who are spitting real spit, like how your boy is, their information is going to be like off in the island because it's not following a trend. So it's gonna like the trends are just gonna go zoom. But then you're gonna have these people off in these islands that are like doing unique things that are purely human. And these purely human like content creators that are speaking real things that are authentic that really relate to the modern man is going to stand out way more. And so it's going to be like imagine like if it's like a river and the AI content is just driving this river. What's going to happen is we're going to have like content creators that are far off the rivers and little streams are going to start to break open into those other pockets of content creators that are like doing authentic human things. And as those streams start to break off because of all the pressure going down this one mega trend, it's going to drive a greater amount of the water to these independent content creators and it's going to basically create like a whale where you can constantly, I think you'll be able to make, like, to be honest with you, I think you're going to be able to make way more money in the future as a content creator if you're more human, if you're speaking real spit and wisdom. Because no matter what you say, the internet can't live as a human being. It's just not a human. So it's like, it's not going to have human things. It's just going to make whatever is popular to the kids. And most people that are on the internet are kids. But as people start to grow up and they start to evolve, those trends and stuff are not going to be as like just useful. Humans are gonna start searching for greater wisdom in like man. Like one of the people I really love is like the guy with the beard. I think Wayne is his name. He like something Blackbush Academy, but he owns a ranch and a farm and he just speaks real. He sits in front of the camera, just talks like how I'm talking. And I'll listen to him for like 20 minutes. I'm like, damn, man, he gave me some real info. And like I enjoy listening to those type of creators who are giving me real info, real things, real wisdom that I can apply to my everyday life. Because man, fuck that TikTok challenges and all that shit. It's like, bro, that doesn't help me in this lifetime. I'm trying to hear wisdom. I'm trying to hear directions. I'm trying to get a sense of understanding of this universe and what I'm doing in this lifetime. And so I think that's where people need to start looking towards is being more human. Chat BT, future implications. And then the other thing I started realizing, like, yeah, transfer like automate real time data. Yeah, it's going to be a big way that challenges and resources are allocated. This is very true, but I think this is a better thing because humans need to start to adapt. And I think for a long time, people have just been feeding off of just the nonsense of just fucking just the internet. Like a lot of people like I think the grifter is going to start to go away as chat PPT starts to really blow up and as things really start to get used. But man, all this is just such a cool experience as a human being to be able to experience things and just watching how the internet has evolved since I've been a child. Like I grew up in the age of the AOL dial up and I seen it progress. Like I remember Instagram, Facebook were just like small apps that maybe a couple people had. MySpace was the biggest thing. Everybody had MySpace. And I'm not that old. I'm like 32. And just to see the evolution over the last like 20 years is fucking beautiful. Like it's just so cool to watch all these things play out. And it gives me hope because I know human beings. Human beings were very adaptable and resourceful. And the guys that kind of lived in the age before the internet, I think we're going to really shine in this next coming decade or two as the internet starts to morph into this AI generated blah blah blah. Because I think a lot of people are going to start getting bored of the internet. I think that's what's going to happen once the chat PT and like the AI generated art and all these metaverse and all these things start to go out. I think a lot of people are going to start getting bored of the escapism. It's not going to be as like exciting. People are going to start to want to be into reality. And I think the people who already started in reality, who got to exist before the internet, are going to have a much easier time in helping steer and teach the youth about how to like really navigate in the world, because that's a real lost art. And as all these boomers and Generation X people are starting to die off, and as I don't know what my generation is called, but as we start to progress and become the new leaders of the world, it's going to be interesting to see how we try to connect that link from the old days to now. And it's just fascinating. It's a fascinating thing. But I'm just letting you guys know, if you're in a not sales business, but if you're working in a task that can be automated where you're just sending emails all day, look, go get you a power drill, go to your local union, and start learning how to do construction. Because I promise you, construction is always hiring, and there's not a lot of competition. There really isn't. You could be a one if you're in shape, you got a decent brain on, you got some social skills, you're gonna kill it in the game. I promise you. But just get out there and start learning how to use your hands, because man, the office life is going to start to close out slowly but surely. So learn how to use your hands, people. Appreciate you listening, and best of luck to you, young people. And also, if you're interested in learning how to get started with your hands, I got a course, TV Mount God. It's in my webpage at apexsapien.com. Reach out to me. I do free consulting. Reach out early, because I'm going to start charging people for this, because I'm getting great reviews. I'm starting to get booked a lot more. So prices are going to start going up for that shit. So reach out to me. Check out the webpage. Check out the blog. Get some wisdom in your life. And man, enjoy life. It's not as bad as you think it is. We got a lot more time than you think, but also be prepared for when things do hit the fan.